From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
Situations like this just make it a lot more difficult for us to give people access to high quality care.
Feeling the impact on the front lines of health, what local providers and patients are saying as the government shutdown enters day 3.
I think we're due for it. I think we've earned it.
Another county vying for the new state mental hospital. Why Bighorn County officials are now saying Hardin should be its home.
I run for my sister-in-law, Lauren. She was 21 when she passed away.
And running for Lauren, and much more. What is inspiring a Billings woman to run in the New York City Marathon, putting the hearts of others in the spotlight? Those stories and much more coming up in the next hour. Good morning and welcome back to Montana This Morning on this Friday, October 3rd. I'm Hailey Monaco here with Miller Robson. Good morning, Miller.
Good morning, Hailey. Are you ready for some changes?
I guess so. It'll be a good weekend to cuddle up and stay inside.
If you like soup and things
Yes.
like that, a good soup weather weekend. That's right. Now, it's been warmer than average over the last several days. Let's take a step back in time. Yesterday here in Billings, we hit a high of 78, so about 12 degrees above the norm. Our low of 50, about 7 degrees above average. Top gust yesterday of 22 miles an hour. Precipitation has been a dry start to the month. We're in the hole, but by the end of this weekend, we have a chance to get really into the plus column. I mean, much of the area, a better than 70% chance now we could at least get half an inch of rainfall. And some areas like Billings and areas south, maybe even more than that. And we'll tell you more about that as we go along. Now, we're not seeing any rain right now, but you can see off to our west where that line is heading our way. And a good bit of moisture pushing into the region. Lower elevation rain, higher elevation snow. So definitely some changes this weekend for fall. As we take a look at temperatures across the area, we'll make it easy for you. From west to east, we're mainly in the 40s and 50s. We're at 51 right now here in Billings. Humidity sitting at 80%. Dew points at 45 degrees, winds out the southwest at about 7 miles an hour. Day planner today, a lot of cloud cover by lunchtime into the 60s, mid 60s. By the time we head home, mid 70s. Try to get up to about 76 today. So another day we're going to be above average, 70s and 80s, but changes in the forecast. Cold enough to where we could see a hefty amount of mountain snow. Winter storm watches will be in effect. We'll tell you all about that. Tell you a lot of stuff to break down for this weekend. We'll do it coming up here in just a bit.
All right, sounds great.
Okay.
Thank you, Miller.
All right.
And we are now into day 3 of the federal government shutdown with no end in sight. Today, the Senate will take up competing GOP and Democrat spending bills to try to reopen the government. President Trump said he met yesterday with the director of the Office of Management and Budget amid sharpening threats of mass layoffs and program cuts. Tina Kraus has more.
Today, the U.S. Senate is set to hold another round of votes, now 3 days into a shutdown stalemate. Republicans insist the only way forward is to pass the House's short-term spending bill.
If we can just find a few more Democrats to join us, we can end this shutdown.
But Democrats won't drop their demands that the bill include federal health care subsidies and protections for Medicaid.
We are ready, we are willing, we are able to sit down with anyone, anytime, any place.
The White House is also not budging.
We haven't wanted to negotiate. We just want to keep the government open.
Yesterday, President Trump met with his administration's budget chief, Russ Vought, as he threatens to slash federal jobs and programs.
There could be firings, and that's their fault. We could cut projects that they wanted, favorite projects, and they'd be permanently cut.
In Washington, D.C. and around the country, plans are underway to cope with the shutdown's impact on federal workers.
It will affect, like, say, the next paycheck if we don't get the check. But if they settle it by the 15th, then it'll be okay.
Food banks around the nation, already hit hard with fewer donations, are bracing for even more strain.
We're prepared that there may be an influx of individuals seeking food assistance.
And while thousands of national parks workers are now furloughed, many parks are still open with limited staffing, offering a bright spot for tourists. Tina Kraus, CBS News.
Now, if votes in the Senate fail again today, then the shutdown is likely to last through the weekend. That's because the Senate Majority Leader says he won't keep lawmakers in session, giving them time to go home and think it over and return Monday to work towards a spending bill. House lawmakers will return next week. The shutdown is also hitting home for many when it comes to health care. Medicare has already cut off telehealth coverage, and expiring subsidies and rising costs could leave patients and rural hospitals struggling to stay afloat. Our Isabel Spartz has more from a local psychiatrist on what's at stake.
When it comes to healthcare, access is key.
We work with thousands of Montanans across the entire state, all 56 counties.
Dr. Eric Arzubi knows that well.
Before telehealth, patients often had to drive 3, 4, 5 hours for a half-hour visit.
As the CEO of Frontier Psychiatry in Billings, his practice solely sees thousands of patients over telehealth, something that spiked during the COVID-19 pandemic. But the looming government shutdown is putting that at risk.
Situations like this just make it a lot more difficult for us to give people access to high-quality care. And it's difficult enough on a regular day.
Democrats and Republicans can't come to an agreement on a bill to fund the government. And one of the first things to go, telehealth covered by Medicare.
The longer Medicare doesn't pay for these things, the more vulnerable these services become in general.
The loss means fewer patients getting access to the care they need and providers not getting reimbursement.
It's possible that these subsidies and these financial supports will go away, which means that families will probably see a doubling of the cost of their health insurance premiums.
This, as government subsidies will expire at the end of the year. Blue Cross Blue Shield has proposed a 20% price hike. Patients may be priced out and opt out of coverage.
Really what we're seeing is the cost at a family level for health insurance is going up, up, and up. And at the same time, what we're seeing is financial support for nonprofit hospitals, critical access hospitals in rural communities is going down.
While Medicare, Medicaid, and affordable care is not disappearing, Arzubi also says the shutdown puts rural hospitals at risk, even as he continues to see patients hoping for a resolution.
This is not a Republican issue or a Democrat issue. For politicians to continue to play sort of political football with our health care, I think is troubling at best.
In Billings, Isabel Spartz, MTN News.
Isabel, great story. Thank you. Well, 15 members of the Wyoming National Guard have been called up to Rock Springs, Casper, and Cheyenne to support immigration and customs enforcement. The communications director with the Guard tells us these airmen and soldiers got their order on September 15th and will be providing administrative, logistics, and transportation support. Their involvement comes after Governor Mark Gordon approved the activation of the National Guard to assist ICE operations. More Montana cities are lining up to host the state's new $26 million mental health facility. What looked like a done deal in the Billings Heights unraveled after public pushback, prompting the governor to restart the search. As we've reported, Laurel and Columbus are both making their case, and now Hardin is joining them. Our Vanessa Willardson takes us to Bighorn County, where support there is growing.
There's so much land with here in the city of Hardin that has sewer, water hookups ready to go. Streets that can be ready to put in.
Bighorn County is pushing hard for Hardin to be the location of the state forensic mental health facility.
I think we have the infrastructure and I think we have the land to build the facility.
The county has several possible locations for the facility, like these 9 acres of land next to the BIA Hardin Correctional Facility or this plot here at the Hardin Industrial Park area.
These facilities require land, and we have the ability to leverage not only what the county has, but what the county can do as far as possible purchases or working with private landowners to secure land.
County Economic Development and Housing Director Lawrence Kilsback says the state owes the county this facility. After the decline of coal production, jobs left the area and left a lot of people needing work.
I think we've earned it. I think we've earned it through our time as being the largest coal producing county in the state and having to deal with the current challenges now and transitioning into some sort of different economic strategy.
Some county residents are telling Kilsback they're worried about the mental health facility bringing danger to the neighboring communities.
There is some risks that comes with it, and you outweigh the positives with the negatives.
While Kilsback says there have been some community concerns, one Hardin resident whose house overlooks this land says he welcomes the idea of a mental health facility.
Considering we already have the BIA prison here, as long as the security and stuff is the same or similar to what is already in place for the BIA, we should be okay with it.
Now they wait in hopes of an okay from the state. In Hardin, Vanessa Willardson, MTN News.
Vanessa, thank you for the update. Well, some good news after a story we brought you first back in June. A popular school playground feature is back as of this week with the help of the Billings community. Poly Drive Elementary School staff say that Gaga Ball Pit is back thanks to a donation from Faith Chapel. You might recall on the week of June 23rd, staff say the ball pit was destroyed, with witnesses telling MTN News they heard a loud noise before finding the pit consumed by fire and smoke. The fire melted the equipment, with fire crews saying the fire's cause remains undetermined. Now, in a post from Principal Caitlin Elliott, she said, quote, "We appreciate Faith Chapel for their generous donation. The kids were buzzing with excitement as they watched it get installed." And as Miller's mentioned, there's some snow heading our way, so the Beartooth Highway is shutting down ahead of a powerful blast of mountain weather. The Wyoming Department of Transportation says the scenic stretch will close today at noon, with forecasters calling for snow, high winds, and even blizzard conditions through Saturday. Now, crews will reevaluate the road once the storm passes to decide when it's safe to reopen. Since 1905, the Billings YMCA has been serving the community. Yesterday, they marked that occasion, celebrating 120 years of service. Since the 50s, the YMCA has been in the same spot on North 32nd Street. Several people gathered to honor the YMCA's history, legacy, and a look into the future of community service.
Pretty incredible to think back, 1905, and as you look at pictures and you think about what Billings was in 1905 compared to now, and it's kind of overwhelming when you really think about all the change.
The YMCA originally stood on 2nd Avenue North and North 29th Street.